It's the cheapest gaming laptop, Asus TUF FX 504 from the new budget series TUF Gaming. This laptop I bought in Amazon. For $700 I got 15-inch laptop based on top mobile 8th generation Intel Core i5 CPU and GTX 1050. Links to the store where you can buy this laptop I left in the description of this video. Plastic LCD cover, designed cute, expressive. I would even say catchy. The Asus logo is made with a metallic red insert, and it looks pretty nice. I want to note that the quality of plastic is not the best. It isn't difficult to scratch the cover and it bends well enough. Short about bundling. It includes laptop, an AC adapter, and instruction. The case of Asus FX 504 is not ultra thin, but as for gaming laptop it's cute compact and the thickness is only 2.5 cm. As for modern laptop, the screen frame is very wide, but I think this is cute expected for a budget gaming laptop. Inner surface repeats the design of top cover. In general it looks like it harmonious, all in gaming style. Despite the fact that the case is plastic, when you strongly press the case of the laptop, it practically doesn't bend. The keyboard is full-sized, that is good enough, and also it has red backlight that fits well with the overall style of laptop. As befits a gaming style, the WASD-K group is highlighted with the red edging. The touchpad is quite comfortable. Left and right buttons are built in. Asus FX 504 has not the best speakers. In many tracks the bass is hard to hear, which the move is still going, but for music they are frankly weak. All ports are located on the left side. Under the left hand all successfully connects and will not sticky out a lot of wires from all sides of laptop. But I was very surprised by the lack of card reader and USB Type-C. For a gaming laptop, this is at least not convenient in nowadays. On the back of the laptop is a hot air blowout from the cooling system. And the air supply for cooling system comes from the hole on the top and on the bottom covers through the grid. Screen is the thing that disappointed me, and now I'll explain why. In FX 504 series used 15-inch LCD with Full HD resolution, but in cheaper revisions installed 60Hz screen with only 45% of NTSC color space coverage. But in more expensive revisions of this laptop the LCD refresh rate is 120Hz and already covering 94% of NTSC space. In other words, in a package that is cheaper installed a basic TN display with the terrible viewing angles. And for comfort gaming you will have to constantly adjust and sit at an even angle to the screen. Now let's take a look inside of this laptop. The disassembly process of Asus FX 504 is quite simple. As you can see, can be upgraded memory modules, hard drive, wireless module and M.2 SSD. There are two DDR4 memory slots. One slot might be used for manufacturer installed memory, and one might be empty. Maximum amount that can be reached is 32 GB. In the laptop is installed 1 TB hybrid Seagate FireCuda hard drive. More expensive revisions in addition has M.2 SSD. Even if your laptop has only hard drive, you can install M.2 SSD to empty slot. Wireless module also can be replaced. Basic module might be Intel 9560NGW, that it supports MU-MIMO technology. Asus FX 504 has 48 Wh battery, that is very small capacity for gaming laptop. For internet surfing this battery is hardly enough for 4 hours. But in the game it will be long, not more than an hour. The cooling system in Asus FX 504 looks impressive and has two coolers. In my test I got these results. Under the stress test, the temperature of CPU wasn't raised above 63 degrees, and the temperature of the graphic core kept at 68 degrees, which is good result as for gaming laptop. The positive aspect is that the cooling system can be simply removed. After removing the bottom cover you only need to unscrew thick screws. After that you can clean both fans or apply a new thermal paste on CPU and GPU. By the way, about the dust. The manufacturer claims that the cooling system in Asus TUF FX 504 series has a special design that blows the dust out the fan casing, and thus the grid is not pulled by the dust. This was even demonstrated in example of foam balls. But time will tell how it will work in life with ordinary dust. The CPU and GPU cannot be replaced because they are soldered to motherboard, and you should consider it when you're choosing configuration. Okay guys, now let's see some game tests. The result of the test will be recorded using special video capture card, so the result of the FPS will be lossless. My revision of Asus FX 504 GT is considered as initial. It is based on quad-core i5 8300H. Meanwhile, a more expensive revision is based on 6-core i7 8750H. The same goes for the GPU. In my revision, this is the initial GTX 1050 with 2GB of video memory. And in more expensive versions of this laptop there may be GTX 1050 Ti with 4GB or even GTX 1060 with 3 or 6GB. I can even say that GTX 1050 with 2GB video memory can be called conditional gaming, because for games it's better to take bundle with GTX 1050 Ti with 4GB. In Doom on high graphics preset it shows 65 and more frames per second. Fortnite on very high preset shows between 37 and 42 frames, but on high preset this result twice. Battlefield 1 on ultra settings and DirectX 12 it shows about 40 frames. In moment of PUBG explodes, result decreased to 30 frames. On high preset frame rates increased to 55. The Witcher on high preset showed decent 30 FPS. On medium preset result is 45 frames. The moment that I want to note is mostly in testing usage of video memory was about 100%. As I said, 2GB is bottleneck of this GPU and laptop in particular. Also, I left a link in the description for a full playlist with tests in the games of this laptop. Okay, let's sum up. I'll start from the facts that I liked. This is fairly simple process of disassembly and the SS2 inside of the laptop. It is possible to expand RAM up to 32GB. And it is possible to install an additional M2 SSD drive. The cooling system is quiet enough and coped well with the temperatures. The CPU performance meets the needs for both gamers and for rendering video and any other multitasking directions. But I didn't like the display of the laptop, the small volume of the battery and the sound quality of the speakers. The display in the budget version is frankly weak, and I didn't like it at all. As for sound, you can always use additional acoustics or headphones, but screen issue can be resolved so simple. As for GPU, as I said earlier, GTX 1050 can be called conditionally gaming, and it's better to take at least Ti version. Memory is twice and performance is higher by 10–15%, depending on the game. I mean that GTX 1050 is enough to play any modern game, but not always at high graphic quality presets. I think that this GPU will be enough for about 2 years if you are not a very demanding gamer. The laptop as a whole is not bad, but I recommend buying a bundle that will be more powerful. I hope this review was useful for you and I helped you with your choice. More information will be in description.